Hello again, how are you doing? So yeah, back again. I figured I'd carry on making a couple more videos today, like I mentioned in the previous video. I've got a little bit of time, so might as well put it to good use. So yeah, as it's approaching the end of the year now. I mean, what is it? I guess the 26th day. So less than a week to go. So it's got me thinking a little bit about what I would actually perhaps like to accomplish mod-wise next year. I haven't done a great deal of brand new stuff over the last few years. I think I'd like to try to change that next year and actually get a few new bits and bobs going. So yeah, I thought people might be interested to actually hear what I actually hope to accomplish. I figured I might as well start off just by running through what I've got at the moment and what's actually going on with the face and whatnot right now. I say nothing has really changed a great deal. Obviously the most recent thing was just finally evening up my conches. So as it sits right now, I have obviously the septum sitting at 25mm. The nostrils are 4mm. With the ears, this guy over here is 76, which is 3-inch. This one is the one I had a couple of issues with the skin kind of peeling off in the cold weather. It's on its way back up still. It's back up to 74 now, and it won't be long at all. Well, I don't think you can really see for it actually. There's a nice little gap there. It won't be long at all before that's back to 76 anyway. And obviously these guys, the conches, are at both chilling out at 17mm now, which is nice. This one is still healing up a little bit. It's a little bit tender if I'm rough with it or anything like that. And there's still a little bit of puffiness around it. And that will go sooner or later. It's all just a waiting game with the conches. And yeah, the ones I always forget I even have, my little traguses, still 4 on each side. I cannot remember what size they are. I think they're 2mm. They're either 2mm or 2.4. And one of them, just to be awkward, is actually slightly smaller as well because I lost the jewellery I was wearing and had to put something smaller back in. So I think 3 of them are 2.4mm and the other one might be 2mm. I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. Yeah, so that's where we're actually sitting at the moment. And so, yeah, obviously 2024, I do hope to continue stretching bits and bobs. I'm being quite conservative with what I hope to get to for the next year, just because I know how things have gone over the last couple of years. Things have been, I plan on doing things and then they get pushed back or something daft happens, like I have a little injury on my ear or something. So yeah, I'm going to be quite conservative. And yeah, let's start with the ears. Let's get the traguses out of the way to start with. My goal with the traguses has always been to get all 4 either up to possibly 3.2mm or possibly 4mm. I'll get them all to 3.2 and then I'll decide where I want to go from there, if I do want to go a little bit bigger. But I've never wanted them particularly big. I thought, especially the fact that there's 2 in each tragus, that it would, if they got too big, first of all it could run the risk of them actually sort of pinching together and the tissue being damaged between them. They'd have to be fairly large for that to happen, but still it's something I'd rather just not risk. And I think it would also, if anything, it might look a little bit too cluttered, because obviously the tragus itself is quite a small little piece of your ear, and if I end up with like big old tunnels in both of the piercings or something like that, I just think that would look a little bit cluttered. And I actually quite like the fact that it is just a couple of little small piercings just to offset all the other giant stuff going on. So yes, with touch wood, I'll get them at least up to 3.2. And like I say, there's not very far left to go at all. I'm pretty certain some of them are 2.4 anyway, so that's really not don't know if you can hear Millie in the background. She's attacking the carpet for some reason. I love my cats, but they do always seem to like making noises when I'm trying to record videos. Yeah, so the Traeger's, they shouldn't be too much hard work. I'm pretty confident if I can actually sort myself out. Hello, madam. She's come over to say hello now. Do I come up? Yeah. Did you see a tail? Yep, I think you just saw a tail. Yeah, so I don't think that'll be a real issue getting that sorted out. It's just a case of me getting my act together and actually ordering the jewellery to do it. So I will try and get that sorted out probably in the early part of next year. At least get them up another size, and even them all out again. Get them back up to either 2.4 or possibly even under 3.2. Well, I'll figure out what size they actually are right now. Hey, madam. Oh, gotcha. Before you run away, say hello to the camera. That's Millie. See you later, little girl. And yeah, so I'll get that done. She's going proper loopy behind the thing. You'll probably hear her going crazy in a minute. But yeah, so I'll get that done. That will probably be something that gets done relatively quickly because I've dragged my heels really badly with the Traeger's. So I want to get that properly sorted out. Just get it done once and for all. I say it's so close to the finish line as it is. Just get it done and it's done. So yeah, next up with the conchas. Like I say, they're both 17 now, both finally up at 17. And yeah, now that they're both even, they've both got tunnels in them, I absolutely love them. I love them more now than I think I ever have. And I am hoping, I would like to say I will try and get them both up to 19 by the end of next year. But I say I'm well versed in conch stretching at this point. It is an awkward thing to do. It is not easy. So I will just have to play it by ear, pardon the pun, and see how far we can get with that. I'm confident this guy will be fine, because this one has been sitting at this size for so long, waiting for the left one to catch up, that I'm pretty damn confident my right one, I will be able to get it to 19 this year. And I'm certain I'll get this up at least to 18. Fingers crossed I'll get it up to 19, that'd be quite nice. I'm trying to decide, at some point, I plan on giving them both a good long rest, like literally like a couple of years rest. I'm not certain what size I want to get to before I do that. I might even get them to 19 and decide just to chill out there for a while. Or I might go just a tad bigger. Maybe get them up to 20 or 21 over the next couple of coming years and then give them a break before making the final push up to around the inch mark. But that's, I say I'll decide exactly what I'm going to do in that regard as I get a bit closer and as I get there. I mean, that's still way away in the future anyway. So yeah, for this coming year, for 2024, I'll tentatively say I'm going to try to get them both up to 19. It'll be interesting when I get to December next year to see exactly where they've gotten to. Particularly this one. Very curious to see how far I get with that. And yeah, and that moves us onto the lobes. Like I say, still just got to balance them out. That won't be long at all. They'll be both back up to 76 very soon. I mean, this one is anyway. This guy will be back up to 76 very soon. I've got no doubt about that. And yeah, that actually kind of plays into something I'll mention at the end of the video. Kind of a little exciting little project. Well, I find it exciting anyway. A little exciting little project that I am finally making a move on. But yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video. And I actually plan on making a more in-depth video about this as well. So wait for that. Hopefully someone will find that interesting. And but yeah, I'm thinking I will aim for about somewhere between 80 and 82 millimeters by the end of next year. If all goes well and I don't do any more damage to them and nothing bizarre happens, hopefully this time next year they will both be at 82. So that's not too bad. That's about 6 millimeter a year in the year. So if I were to stretch them, say roughly every 3 months, what would that be? No, roughly every 4 months. If I went up 2mm at a time, which is roughly what I've discovered I can get away with my ears at this size. Because like, don't know how well you can see. Oh, you can't see at all, actually. Sorry, you can't see very well at all. I need a lighter background behind me so you can really see. But when these have been at a size for a long time, the gaps they get are massive. So it's as they get bigger, when they chill out for a while, the gaps themselves also get bigger. If that makes sense, because I guess because the jewellery in general is larger and heavier, so as they chill out and relax and heal up after a stretch, the actual gap they get naturally is bigger. So I found around this size I can normally go up about 2mm at a time quite comfortably without damaging them at all. So yeah, let's say roughly every 4 months, if I were to go up another couple of millimetre each time, then touch wood, we will hit touch wood. We're good with the puns today, aren't we? Yes, touch wood. I will have them somewhere around the 80 to 82mm mark by the end of next year. So that'll be nice, and yeah, that'll be nice. I'll feel like I'm finally making progress with them. So over the last few years, they've kind of stalled out a bit, just for one reason or another. And it'll be nice to get them actually moving again, feel like I'm starting to make more progress again. Because at their largest, they were 94mm, and that was several years ago at this point. And I am dying to get back there and to get bigger. I want them, talking long term, at the very, very minimum, I want them 4-inch, which is 102mm. Beyond that, I would love to press on towards at least 5 inches. Like long-term goals, 5 inches I think is the minimum I would like to get them to. And I mean, that will take a long time, there's no doubt about that. That will take a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of dedication. And I'm not in a rush to do it. I mean, I'm 35. Fingers crossed I've got another good 40-45 years ahead of me. I like to think I can stretch my ears a couple of inches in 40 years. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, if I get to 5-inch, to be honest, I'm not going to stop there. I'm just going to keep going. It's just, it's the way it is. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yep, I will say by the end of next year, I would like to have them, like I say, about that 82mm mark. 80 to 82. So we shall see. We'll see where we get to. Yeah, moving on from there. Septum. As you all know, had real problems, had my little thin spot. Don't know if you can see it at all. Oh yeah, I think you can see where the little notch is there. Excuse me. Oh, that made my nose tickle. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you can see the little notch there where the thin spot's developed. And I really do like the idea of at least attempting to get it back to 26 at some point. Probably what I'll do, I'll probably go up even 0.5 millimeters. Or if I can find a talented enough person to make jewellery, maybe even see if I can go up like 1/4 millimeter at a time or something. Whether or not that'll happen this year at all, I don't know. So I'm playing it very, very carefully with the septum from now on, obviously. I don't want my nose falling in half, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, maybe I'll hopefully get it up, maybe another 0.5 millimeter this coming year, just to get back up to, yeah, like I say, 26mm. That'd be a nice target. Well, no, we'll call it quits there. That'll be the lot. If I do make it there, that'll be it. And hello, Millie. You're having a lot of fun, don't you? And yeah, the nostrils. That's the other one. The other piercings I've actually got right now. I would like to get them. I would like to get them up to 6mm, because being 4mm now, that's not too big at all. I may well, again with those, I may well go up in 0.5 millimeters. I'm not certain how exactly I'm going to proceed with that, because obviously at the moment the job I have, to be fair, I haven't actually asked whether or not I'm allowed to wear all my jewellery or not. The only things I do wear are my conchas, and they've never had a problem with that, and my traguses, and they've never had a problem with that. But I haven't actually, I've never even asked if I'd be allowed to wear my ears or my nose or anything. The nostrils, if I were to ask and they were to definitely say no, I'm not allowed to wear them while I'm at work, that would be a problem stretching them. Everything else I can leave out literally for days at a time and it doesn't shrink. But the nostrils, I need to keep them in, really. Like, I can get away with at work, like a shift at work, but if I'm stretching them and they're freshly stretched, I need them to be in. I can't really get away with leaving them out for like even relatively short periods of time. So I don't quite know how that's going to work, but again, we'll see. We'll just see. We'll see what happens as the year goes by. Sorry, one of my Dagoos is doing something really weird, making a lot of noise. I hope that's not too interfering. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Right, sorry about that. I'm back again. I'm not entirely sure what Blue, one of my Dagoos, was doing, but I don't know what doing something daft and hurting herself, so I've just moved her to the other side of the cage and left her there for now. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, so new stuff, I guess, for next year. First thing would be more tattoos. I have actually been given a couple of tattoo vouchers for our local studio where a friend of ours works. It was actually her that did my mushroom tattoo on my side, so it'll be nice to go back to her and get a little bit more work done. The first thing that I'd like to do with her, something I actually wanted for a little while now, I would like the anarchist A symbol on this shoulder, and then the Bitcoin B symbol on this shoulder. First of all, because the core philosophies behind both things are things that do sync up quite well with my own personal beliefs. I won't go into that too much because this is not a political channel or anything of that nature. But as well as that, simply the fact that I would have A and B tattooed on my shoulders, that's the sort of silly little thing that I find quite entertaining. And I would hope some people would get a little bit confused and come up and ask me why I have the letters A and B tattooed on my shoulders. That's the sort of silly little thing that just amuses me in my daily going abouts. So, yeah, that's something I hope to get sorted out soon. Like I say, I've got some. I've been given a couple of tattoo vouchers to go and see her. So fingers crossed, I'll be able to get that sorted out relatively quickly. I'll be able to wander down to town and see her and find some time soon, hopefully, and at least get that started out. At the very least, I would like to just get the outlines of those done, and yeah, I can go from there. As well as that, Millie again. As well as that, I would quite like to. I would quite like to get more of the black on my arms done. I hope to finally get in touch with Sam and see if we can sync up some time and go down and see him. What I'd actually quite like to do is try and just blast the whole lot done, get it done as quick as possible. I'll have a word with him. He knows I like to push things and that I like to do things to the extreme, and he's the sort of person that, as he knows me, he would at least consider it, let's put it that way. Not to say he'll agree to it, but I know he would consider it at the very least. Like I say, it was him that did my black nipples, so he knows the sort of person I am and how I like to test my limits. So if he's up for it, and if I can get my act together and actually get in touch with him, I may well see if I can literally book 2 days back to back and just blast through it all, get all of my arms finished, all the way up to the inside of the armpit and around the shoulders. So I'd have basically solid black arms with the little patterns, more or less solid black arms and shoulders with obviously with the symbols that I just mentioned as well. And yeah, that's tattoo wise, that would be my goal for this year. So fingers crossed I'll get my act together and get on with that. it is just a case of pulling my finger out and getting that moving as well, because I'm sure I've mentioned before, I'm more of a mod person versus a tattoo person. I almost look at it as tattoos are more of just an aesthetic thing for the most part, versus modifications are more of an experience, if that makes sense. And again, that plays into why I would love to do a mammoth session, just to try and get as much done as possible all in one go. It would be for that experience and for the and yeah, just to see how that goes and see what I can learn from that experience, because that would be quite an intense undergoing, I should imagine. But yeah, that's tattoo wise, that would be about that. Now, other things as well. There's a few slightly not heavy mods as such that I would like to get, but a few non-strict piercings, let's say. First of all, my bridge piercing, where I used to have my bridge piercing stretched, and it just got incredibly irritated and developed a huge scar, so I ended up taking it out. The scars themselves, they don't bother me. Don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you can see that, where the old tunnel used to sit there. I've kind of been wanting to get my bridge re-pierced and actually start the piercing all over again. But I think that would actually be much easier if I were to get the actual scars, if I were to actually get that removed. And so I have more of an even, flat surface just to start off again. So that's something I may actually look into. Now, with the whole Dr. Eagle thing that happened a few years ago at this point, and heavier modifications being banned throughout the UK, I'm not entirely certain if that would include something like a little scar removal or not. Because I know there's some quite well-known studios that at least used to offer it. Emily Boo, who I'm sure most people know here, she actually had, I'm pretty sure it was actually her bridge sorted out as well. For those of you who don't know, we both live in the same town. We actually know each other. I'm sure pretty much everybody who watches my channel probably knows who she is, at least to a degree. She does a lot of, well, I say a lot, she has a few sort of piercing-y type videos as well from time to time. I mean, she's got a much larger following than me, obviously. But yeah, she went to, I think it was Holier Than Thou in Manchester, which are quite a well-known studio, and they, like I say, I'm certain it might have actually been lip piercings for her, now I think about it. Anyway, so there were some quite well-known studios that did used to offer scar removal. Like I say, whether or not it is still even legal in the UK, I actually don't know. But it's something I will look into and to find out, and then possibly even getting my bridge re-pierced afterwards. That would be quite nice. That's something I think is about time that I would like to do that again. Now, whether or not I'm in two minds whether I would actually just get one and stretch it up again, or possibly get two and just keep them smaller. A little bit similar to how I keep my two Traeger's small. Yeah, that's something I may well consider as the year goes on. I'll figure that one out. And in that same vein of not even being certain what's actually legal in England now, I'm really considering finally getting my outer conchas done as well, because they're another one that when they get stretched, gigantic. I absolutely adore them. But what I would like to do with those, I would like to get them punched, only at a very small size, because I do enjoy the whole stretching process, even though stretching cartilage sucks. Again, this plays back into the whole experience thing. I just want the experience of having something punched, and that would kind of work out well if I could actually get my outer conchas punched. It would be really small, wouldn't be big at all. It would be something like 3.2mm or something. So first of all, I need to figure out if that's even still legal in the UK, and if it's not, I may well look into going to a different country to do it. just to have like a little week away somewhere. If it's all illegal, what I could even do is have a whole little trip just based around getting little bits done. Maybe see if I can sort out getting the bridge scars removed and have my outer conches punched all at once. Something like that, perhaps. Maybe I'll be away for like a week and get a few things done. That would be quite a nice little adventure, actually. So that's something to consider. But yeah, first of all, I need to figure out exactly what I'm even allowed to do in England anymore. So I will get on to looking that up fairly soon, I think. So that'd be quite nice. That'll be a little adventure, a little planned adventure. And the other thing, something else I've been wanting to finish off for quite some time now, is my navel removal, belly button removal. I had that done. I've never really talked about it on the channel. I had my belly button removed probably 7 years ago now, maybe? But it was never fully finished. I used to have a stretch piercing through my actual belly button. It wasn't very big, about 6mm I think. It was so long ago I actually don't remember. But what happened to that, I was at a nightclub, a heavy metal club in Ipswich, and I was pretty drunk, surprise surprise, and I got up at the table and went to lean over the table, and I caught the jewellery on the edge of the table and it ripped. And it did a lot of damage to the actual piercing and to my actual belly button itself. And so, and that left quite a nasty scar. And now what happened, when I had my actual navel removed, my actual belly button removed, I went to Sampa von Cyborg for that. Everyone, again I would assume, everyone at least into the heavier stuff knows who he is. And he said, he looked at it when I explained what had happened and why it looked a bit weird to begin with. And he said there's a good chance that it wouldn't actually heal flat due to that additional scar tissue already being there, and that we would probably need to do a second procedure further down the line in order to flatten it all out completely. So at some point that's something I would like to finally get caught up on again. So either go to him, I would like to go to him for it just because it was him that started the procedure. I'd quite like to get him just to sort of round off his own work, I suppose. And if that's not doable, not the end of the world, I can go to someone else for that. But it would be nice to finally have that completely done and have a completely flat navel area. So that would be quite nice. We'll see how that goes. But that would be a big undertaking. So whether or not that'll happen, again, I don't quite know. But we'll see. Trying to think of any other actual mod stuff. And sorry about that, I'm back again. My camera got to its limit of 29.5 minutes or whatever it is and cut out. So sorry about that, I am back again. Where was I? So yeah, I think trying to think of any more actual mod stuff that I would like to try and get done next year. I think that's basically it as far as next year goes. So there's plenty of other little things I would love to experiment with in times to come. But as far as the next 12 months goes, that's just about it, I think. I say there's a few other little things. I say things like I'd love to get septal piercings. I've mentioned this in the past. Again, that's another one I kind of doubt I will do this coming year. Other things, I believe I've mentioned it before. I would love to actually get my nipples redone at some point, but rather than actually piercing them. Again, this goes with the whole experience thing. In the same way I would like to get my outer conches punched, I'd quite like to get my nipple piercings actually scalpeled. Now that would be an exceptionally intense experience, and I'm not going to lie, the thought of doing that kind of terrifies me, because that would certainly be unpleasant, there's no question about that. Not only are nipples a pretty sensitive area to have modified anyway, mine are covered in scar tissue because they have been pierced over and over and over again. I have stretched them I've had them pierced in different angles and had them stretched and done all sorts of daft things to them multiple times over the years. So my nipples are particularly particularly damaged, I suppose. And that in itself would cause another obstacle for that as well. But again, that wouldn't be next year anyway. I'm certain that won't be happening in 2024. But yeah, so that's all the actual mod news itself. The things that I would like to try to do next year. The other little project I'm finally starting, I finally bought myself a lathe. And I plan on... It hasn't arrived yet. I only bought it a day or so ago. Probably a week or so ago by the time I put this video up. It's something I've spoken about a few times in the past. Finally actually learning to make my own earrings. It would make things so much simpler in general. It means I can have effectively unlimited access to whatever size earrings I want. And again, that plays into being able to go much, much larger in the future. But yeah, so I've finally actually ordered myself a lathe. I won't go into too much right now, because I would like to make a dedicated video specifically about this. That might well even be the next video or the next couple of videos. So yeah, that's something that I'm quite excited about. I plan on putting a lot of effort into learning how to do it properly. It's certainly making something like these on a lathe is going to be easy. So I'm quite excited to actually finally get that. And after all this time, I know I have mentioned it on and off over the years, and it has taken me a long, long time to finally actually pull the trigger and actually order myself one. But it's happening. It's finally actually happening. So I am very, very pleased about that. I'm finally very pleased to actually announce it. And yeah, with a bit of luck, I will finally be able to make my own earrings. I won't have to worry about trying to find other people who are willing and able to make them as big as I need them, and being charged ridiculous amounts of money in order to do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But I'll talk a lot more about that in an upcoming video. I will make a video specifically dedicated to that. What I plan on actually doing with that, because I've got a few little ideas, things I'd like to play with, things I'd like to try and do with all of that. So yeah, hopefully this hasn't been too long a video. I think I've gone a little bit over half hour altogether. Hopefully people have been able to stick through that and they found the video itself interesting, and yeah, wish me luck in the next 12 months that I actually manage to hit most of these targets, most of these little goals. I'm looking forward to next year. It's going to be, I feel like I'm finally getting back to myself again and being able to do all these different modifications and things. It's, I don't know, I feel a lot more like myself again, which is nice. I'm really pleased about that. So yeah, I will speak to you all again soon for another video. I will probably... It's getting on a bit in the day now, it's 4 o'clock, I've got a few things to do. But I will, touch wood, I'll be able to sit down in a couple of hours and make another quick little video. Just so I got some more stuff to pop up for you all. So yeah, Happy New Year's. Good luck to everybody else in all their mod plans for the next year. And I will speak to you all again soon. Ciao for now.